Good morning, folks. Look, I don't really want to make this short, but it's necessary. I don't like talking about people's own challenges, but a TikTok video is released by a known South African who used the tragedy of Earl Langton's wife, Jay, getting cervical cancer to try to spread propaganda and lies about America and about the refugee program. So it's necessary to refute the lies and idiocy that's coming out of South Africa. First off, how callous, cold-hearted, and just completely disrespectful to take the situation of a refugee's wife testing positive for cervical cancer and try to turn that into some anti-America propaganda and anti-refugee propaganda saying, oh, the grass isn't always greener. Well, the grass is greener. You see, they don't have to daily face nearly being murdered because of their skin color and because of who they are and their origins here in America. So my direct question is, why didn't the South African healthcare system, which this person claims is so great and wonderful, was free and treated her cancer years ago, why didn't it identify the fact that Jay had cervical cancer? Obviously, she had cervical cancer before she came to America, right? Because they're only here a couple months. Why weren't they treated there? Well, because the system's racist and it's pathetic and it doesn't work for anybody. So I don't understand how it worked for that person. This all comes about because apparently Earl Langton has started a GoFundMe or one of these sort of things, to raise money because he's going to have to curtail his employment, not be able to work the same number of hours, help take care of his wife and his family. And this callous disregard for the humanity of this family's situation is disgusting. So I'm going to turn this around and talk about, where we're hearing about how it's free and healthcare is so wonderful in South Africa, and mention a couple of my viewers, one of whom recently had to watch both her mother and her father die in state-run hospitals in KwaZulu-Natal because the black doctors refused to treat them. Father suffocating, choking, and they just said, well, he's going to die, and walked away. Didn't even provide care. That's one problem. That's just racist and incompetence. But I have a family in South Africa whom I know that is trying to raise 500,000 Rand to pay for heart surgery for the husband. Now, why do they have to pay for 500,000 Rand for heart surgery? Because the government hospitals won't treat him. They won't treat him. Why? Because he's white. So before people spread propaganda about how the grass isn't greener and how, what was implied here is that in America things aren't better because you have to pay for health care, well, at least you can get health care here. You can't get it in South Africa unless you got a lot of money. It's kind of the same picture, isn't it now? So this disgusting misuse of the tragedy of the Langton family needs to stop and raise money for this family in South Africa to get heart surgery for this father who needs